So Chris Stokes, how enjoyable was that Easter schedule then?
Yeah, it was massive. They're not just obviously winning the games, but to put us in right back where we want to be in that contention for the playoff spot. And say 2 local derbies, we were right up for them games. So it's obviously massively important to win them, regardless of where you are in the league and the points. Because obviously it's massive for the club and massive for the fans. But I say it was big games for the points wise as well. So I'd say it was massive that way.
Which performance pleased you most out of the 2 wins? Was it Accrington or Barrow?
Probably the Accrington one, because obviously going in the back of it, the 4 defeats, that was always on our mind. We're thinking, right, you're going to a derby, not in great form. It's not ideal, but say to win that one, I think that gave us the massive confidence. Then going into the Monday game, you go off back of 1 derby win, 3 points. You look at the table again, you're thinking, right, get another 3 points, you're right back up there, and that's what it was.
And you got very close to the goal, didn't you, at Accrington? Or did you get a touch or what? The second one?
A fine touch, and I say that's all. I say it was, but say I got it taken off me. But I say it's still going down in my goal at the moment.
So I know, obviously, very positive to have the 2 wins over Easter, but you've got to keep it going, haven't you?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is now we're in this sort of stage of the season where every point's vital, and the tables say in and around where we are. I think there's 6 or 7 teams that are going for that 1 or 2 positions that might be available in the playoffs, and that's what we're fighting for. And let's see, we've got 5 games left now. We've put ourselves in a position where we're still chasing that, and we have been all season. We've been in and around where we have been, but now it's just getting them games that I say they're getting more and more important. Every game it is. I say you're going to Saturday, and it's you need to keep winning. You need to. I say we've found a way to win now at home, and we need to go back to our home form at the start of the season, and then we'll be right up there towards the end.
You mentioned finding a way to win. How important was it that you had that spell in both games near the end where the opponent scored, and you had to hang on, particularly as part of the defence?
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing as a defender, when they pile on about 4 or 5 strikers and balls coming in your box, and you're clinging on. When you've got a 2-goal lead, you know you've got a little buffer, but when you've got 1 and you've worked so hard for the 90 odd minutes to get that lead, and then you're clinging on at the end, thinking like you're desperate not to concede. And we've had that roll up the sleeves up, and everyone's been. See, it's not just a defender sort of rocks them out of corners and set plays you defend against, and you've got your strikers coming back. So it's a team game. It's not just defensive units that's doing that towards the end. It's everyone, and everyone's bought into it. And say the last 2 games have been massive towards the end to cling on to them victories.
Yeah, and the confidence you get from that's huge, isn't it? I guess that you've done it a couple of times and you have held on.
I think that helped on Friday when you've done it once already. Then coming towards the end, you've clinged on. If we say conceded late on against Accrington, you probably then, when the Barrow game comes around, you same sort of situation, you're thinking, oh no, here we go again. But I don't think it was like that. Even though they scored late, it was still that we felt quite comfortable, and they were. You know they're going to throw the ball in the box and bringing big boys on. But say we stuck up to the challenge and got the massive 3 points out. What it was.
And looking at form, arguably Doncaster will be the toughest of these 3 games, won't it? The last 2 games, they're in form. They beat Wrexham the other night.
Yeah, they're doing really well. And I think since we played them, they've gone on a little bit of a run, and they must have found like a formula that's working for them at the moment. So we've not actually analysed them. I think we'll probably do that more tomorrow and go through them properly. But once we've had a look at them and say they're doing well, we can't knock it. So we have to be right for what they're going to bring to here, and say it's more about us really right now, not what oppositions are doing. If we play our game like we have done, especially in the last couple of games, keep playing that sort of football that we've been doing, and say another 3 points, and it's right back on to Tuesday again.
So I guess there's no point in thinking, we won 5-0 at their place. It's irrelevant.
No, I think it's totally irrelevant, because say teams change. I think since then, a lot of players have changed, and you always think of the first game, what was the score? But I think it is kind of irrelevant, because say you are away, and they say no, it's back at our place. So it's a lot of factors change in that sort of situation. But I say it's a good omen for us that we beat them 5-0 in the season. I'm sure they'll be wanting to rectify that and come in, put that to bed. But say we've got a massive 3 points to play for, so that we'll be right up for the challenge ourselves.
I know you're probably going to say concentrate on the next game, but what sort of target are you looking at now? 5 games left. Is it 4 wins? What are you thinking?
Yeah, you sort of that 70-point mark is you always start the season. If you get above that, you should have a right chance of winning the playoffs. I've known that. So everyone sort of tells you that. Say there's always the markers that you get told at the start of the season. That's the factors that it's just history of how football works. But say it can change. They say it might be less this season, but if we do our job and get as many wins as possible and put ourselves in the points that we can only reach, and we don't get in there, if they're probably going to win every game, fair play to them. But as long as we do our job and get as many points as we can, then we can look back at the end of the season and think we did all we could, and we were beaten by better teams. But we don't want to let games pass by. You lose games, and you look at it, then you're too far away. But right now we're right up there, and we just keep putting the pressure on the teams above us, and hopefully one of them slip up.
I guess it's where your experience comes into play now with some of the younger lads in the team, isn't it? You know, you've been around this sort of thing before. You know that sort of situation.
Yeah, I've had a lot of playoff games and a lot of teams that have been in chasing for the playoffs and promotions and stuff like that. And this is the games. I say all the games are good at the start of the season when you're playing, but this is what we play for. This is the games you want to be involved in right at the back end, where it's not just 3 points; it's more than 3 points. It's promotions change your life, and you want to be remembered for like them sort of games. So this is the games that you want to be involved in, want to play in. So every game is massively important now.
I guess you're really pleased to be right in the thick of it after the start of the season.
Yeah,
you're a regular.
Yeah, when we've spoken before, so you sat there and but I know how this game works long enough now. Even though you're not playing at the start, there's always going to be changes. There's people get injured, factor in people go. I see that James going to go back from his loan, and people go out of form. It's just natural. You have a squad at the start of the season for this precise reason, that players come in and players come out, and that's what you need to be ready when you get called upon to play.
Get money for your old phone. Mazuma Mobile